Good morning, one and all. We got some West Ham tittle-tattle, some gossip, some opinions, God forbid, and just some general 8 minutes, 10 minutes of general West Ham silliness and some, well, actually something, a story, you probably would have seen it in the title, which I think is probably, it's got me a little bit confused. Let me put it that way. Before we get started, just a quick roundup of some other stories around the Premier League. The first one does concern West Ham. In fact, it's directly concerning West Ham because it's about Lucas Fabianski, who of course has come in for some criticism recently from some, and some suggestions that he may well lose his first team place to Ari25 Areola. Now, Lucas Fabianski has taken this very, very well, and what he's done, like any good professional, he's knuckled down, got back to the training ground, and said that what he's going to do is going to put in double shifts to convince everybody on the training ground that he's the man for the job. It's all change at underscoring Tottenham Hotspur, particularly since the arrival of new manager Conte. He doesn't want to wait until the transfer window, by the way. Who wants to wait for January? So what he's doing is he's scouring the freebies market to see who's available to come in now. He's actually highlighted a striker to help out the underperforming Son, Kane and Lucas Moura. Staying with Tottenham, Nuno Espirito Santo is incredibly disappointed to have lost his job at Tottenham. Make no mistake about it, this was his big chance. He swapped a medium-sized club in Wolves to sign for a medium-sized club and get sacked by Tottenham. However, he was, I think, comforted in some way by the statement from Daniel Levy, which said, "It doesn't matter what's happened. We thank Nuno for his time at the club and he's welcome back here at any time." And last but not least, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has finally admitted that his job is under pressure at Manchester United. To try and spice things up a bit, he's actually joined in the training sessions. Now, when he said he was excited to be training alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think Ronaldo realised quite how excited Ole was. And that's today's roundup. Don't be expecting that every day, by the way. Let me just say that. It was a nightmare downloading all those clips and all the rest of it. Hopefully it's appreciated. If some of you, I know some of you said in the comments yesterday that some of you listen to these videos. If you were listening to that, you're probably thinking, what's going on? What was he talking about? If you are listening, you need to go back and watch that to give it any sort of context at all. Anyway, the subjects of the matter today. Firstly, Declan Rice. Actually, secondly, Declan Rice, let's say. The first thing I want to talk about is Vlasic, and it was really a couple of articles that caught my eye on the player. And I've now seen it reported twice that his transfer fee was 18 million. Now, I initially thought it was about 32 million. The other day, Gio said 27 million. It keeps going down. If we keep talking about him, they'll probably owe us money if we keep this up. But I thought, what is it? What is his true value going to be? Because this is actually really, really important. And it sort of ties into what I was saying about Areola and making the signing permanent as well. Because actually, when you put together the wages and you put together the transfer fee, that's quite important. So I asked around, and some people who I sort of trust will know the figures. And it came back, well, actually, everyone's right. Well, actually, everyone apart from me. I was wrong. It never was 32 million at all. But Gio sort of had it right at 27 million. But the two reports that I read that suggested also 18 million, they were also right. Because I do believe it's 18 million with £9 million worth of add-ons. Now, for those 9 million of add-ons to be activated, I think we have to qualify for... Lots of stuff has to happen. He has to score lots of goals. He has to play lots of games. We have to qualify for the Champions League. We might just do that. Which, by all accounts, if we do qualify for the Champions League, we get about 30 million just for qualifying. So who cares if we have to pay another £3 million for a player? Happy days, it would suggest he'd worked out. But as it stands, actually, and it was reported back to me, no, the liability is at the moment about 18 million. And that other stuff, the other 9 million... This is funny, called £9 million other stuff, like it's not important. We all wish we had £9 million to call other stuff. But those are unlikely to be activated anytime soon. So it does appear to be 18 million. And this was the point that was made to me, when you also add that to the fact that his wages are comparatively low, and this was the I say statement makes it sound more grand than it is, but this was the chit chat I got back, which was, even including the fee, the Vlasic money over a 5-year deal is still cheaper than Jesse Lingard on a free. Which sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Because Lingard on a free wouldn't be on a free. We'd have had to pay him, or his agent, or whoever. I don't know how much a sign-on fee. I'll guarantee it'd be 4 or 5 million at least, something like that. He's going to be on 120 grand a week or something like that. The deal is actually richer for Lingard than it was for Vlasic. So it's not the outlay that everybody thinks it is. Now that makes me happy for one very simple reason. In as much as I don't think that there's going to be as much pressure on him if the deal is not as big as we thought. Actually, also secondary, I just thought about it. It would allow us, hopefully, to have a few more funds available, hopefully to do something else in January. There's been a lot of talk over recent days about Kretinsky, and that it's not really going to benefit the club massively, him joining, in terms of a big war chest available to Rob Newman, David Moyes in January. I mean, I didn't expect there to be a massive war chest, but I did think there was going to be some money. I can't claim to know enough about it at all, but I think there will be some money available in January. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if there isn't, particularly given we're going to lose Ben Rama to the African Cup of Nations. I tell you what, how unprofessional of me not to turn my phone off. I do apologise. The other thing I really wanted to talk about is that's Kretinsky there, obviously. Tell him exactly how much we've got to spend in January. So that's the Vlasic thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this report that West Ham are no longer going to offer Declan Rice any more additional rises in his contract offer for the remainder of the season. Now, it didn't make any sense to me at all, this. I didn't see the need. Again, it was not public, but it's leaked, I guess. But I don't see the need to make a rule for yourself on that. And I'm talking about West Ham, and I'm talking about offering him the contract. I understand that there's going to be a little bit of a public negotiation going on. Declan Rice saying, I'm not signing, and now we're saying, well, we're not going to offer you a contract anyway. It's a bit like when you're about to get dumped, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You think, oh, no, I'm dumping you. No. I'm actually dumping you. No, I'm dumping you first. So it's a bit of a case of that, isn't it? I'm not signing a new contract. Well, we're not offering you one anyway. Smacks a little bit of that, I think, but I don't see why we'd paint ourselves into a corner on this one. Now, the reason given was that Declan didn't want to they didn't want to distract Declan between now and the end of the season. I don't think Declan is distracted. I just don't think he is. I think if he was going to be distracted, it would have happened before now. I mean, I'm just not seeing this. It's almost a case of, we keep offering him contracts, and he's taking his after ball and he's not playing well, and so it's just not happening. I know it, you know it, and they know it. Actually, this is the most focused individual I think we've seen in quite some time. If ever, it's actually a lesson. I don't particularly want to dig Harry Kane out again, but I'll dig Harry Kane out again. I think it's a lesson to others who maybe have got their eyes on pastures new clubs and new deals and all the rest of it. It's actually an example to them how you continue to play and how you continue to put a shift in. We don't know. Look, Declan has said he's happy at West Ham. Of course he's going to say that. He's not going to say anything any different, is he? But as we understand it, and it's been reported by journalists close to Declan, that West Ham have made 2 offers and no point offering a third, he won't accept it. I still think it's part of negotiation. I still think you go back. Is that thing again? I still think you... There is actually something there. I don't know if the camera picks it up. The camera might not be high enough resolution. But there was a fluff or a ghost of fly, remnant of Pringle, something like that. Rumour of Zuma. Something was floating across the screen then. So I think there's a negotiation going on. I just don't know. But I don't understand why we would put contract talks on hold. I think this is the time to do it. It doesn't matter. He's not distracted. He's one of the best players in Europe. I think he'll continue to do so, and he's only getting better. But his form is such that it's going to be really hard for us to not just keep hold of him in terms of the contract and getting him to sign a new deal, but he's going to be an attractive proposition, Declan, to absolutely everybody. We said this, the moment he starts adding long passing and goals to his game, then we're all in trouble. Well, it's there. He has done. That's what's happening now. He's relatively two-footed. Tackle, head, intercept, pass, read the game well, leader, scores goals, dribbles, crosses. It's all there. It really is all there. And I loved the comment from Stuart Pearce where he said, actually, I think he may even have been better than Roy Keane at the same age. As regular viewers, I think Roy Keane was a fantastic player. One of my favourite non-West Ham players to watch play, because he was just a winner. It's hard to stand out in a team game. It is. You're not a tennis player. You're not a golfer. It's hard to stand out. There's a lot of other people on that field of play who can do something exceptional and stand out. And when you can stand out regularly as being a leader, as somebody who can grab a game by the scruff of the neck, if other people are not playing that well and you can grab them and raise their performance as well as your own, that's something very special if you can influence those around you. And I always felt that, Keane, but I loved what Pearcey said about that, and with Declan being perhaps even better. Fantastic. The other sort of rumour with Declan on this, and something I don't know where it came from, but the suggestion was that Real Madrid might be interested in him. So West Ham might be ready to offer him 400 grand. I don't know. I don't think that's the case at all. I'd be gobsmacked if either of those things happen. I'd be absolutely gobsmacked. I really would. I think you'd safely put your money on. Actually, my money. Don't put any money down on anything I say, by the way. But I think I'd happily put my 10 pence down on him not going to Real Madrid and West Ham not giving him 400 grand a week. I think that much is for certain. But it's clear we would make him the highest paid player at the club and in the history of the club. And so we should. It's not for me. I don't know the budget. It's not for me to stop banding around what we should pay or what we shouldn't pay. But I think if there's one player that's possibly worth, I'm not sure any human being is even worth 150 grand a week, but if there is, and if we take that into account, and we take into account the capitalist nature of football and the way it's mega rich, if anybody's worth £150,000 a week of West Ham's money, it's got to be Declan Rice. The Real Madrid thing, well, let's be perfectly honest here. They're in a mess. I don't know where that's come from. There's no way they can afford to buy Declan Rice. Declan Rice gets sold, it's going to be for in excess of 100 million. No one's those days of someone coming in with a cheeky 70, 80 million pound bid are gone. You're going to have to break the record to get him. He's the best player around at the moment. I thought Grealish was exceptional last season. Declan's even better than Grealish this season. He cost 100 million. You're not going to be able to show me too many players who are better than Declan Rice at the moment. His age, everything he's got going for him, captain as well. You're going to be looking at 110 million, I'd imagine, something like that, maybe even more. Who's got that sort of money? Well, not Spain. You've only got to look at them. They don't have that sort of money at the moment. They are not going to be able to get into a haggle, basically, a haggle off. With the likes of Manchester United and Man City, Chelsea, or whoever else is in for him. They're just not going to be able to compete. The Newcastle thing, honestly, don't make me laugh. Honestly, don't make me laugh with that. That's just... in fact, I'll deal with Newcastle maybe tomorrow's video. I say I'll deal with Newcastle. I just mean in terms of... read a few links with them and our players. They can't even attract a manager at the moment. So it's just not... Newcastle need to focus on getting some players and a manager in to get them out of the relegation zone. The Declan Rice link was neither here nor there. It's just not going to be true. Anyway, I think it's all a load of rubbish, the Spain link. They haven't got the money. They're in financial difficulty, and what's happened is that the La Liga is in a financial straitjacket at the moment, whilst the president of La Liga or whoever runs it is actually trying to sort it out and stop Spanish football going bankrupt. You've only got to look at Barcelona as well. They can't afford... I was going to say they can't afford anything. They might be able to afford this shed, but they can't afford an awful lot more. Right, there you go. General tittle tattle. I'll be back tomorrow.